Thrive, or Survive conference. I think somebody may have a little background feed.
On mute.
And Pastor Betty, I know your time is of a is very important today because you're busy. So everyone, we're gonna go ahead and let Pastor Betty go ahead and so we don't hold her up because she actually at a training today.
Shalom,
Yes.
family.
Shalom. We can hear you.
Before we get started,
Okay.
let everybody just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Clear your mind. Let's clear our minds this beautiful Sunday morning before we even get into prayer. Because I realize a lot of us are under a little pressure just from life. We're under pressure of life right now. Just hearts ready to receive what the Most High has for you. I'm sorry to stop right now, family, but I gotta step up for just a quick minute to pick up my lunch because I'm in a training in Orlando and they just called my name to pick up my lunch. I'm so sorry about this, but just give me one back.
Okay. Hey y'all, let's just go ahead and do a mic check if everybody can unmute and just introduce yourself and then we'll wait for Pastor Betty to come back and we'll have the prayer. And then I got a short never seen this thing do this. Okay, so Sister Evelyn, you want to unmute if you can? I think you already unmute,
I did. Can you hear me?
just so we can do a mic. Okay, I can hear you good. And Sister Evelyn, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself. Um, anything you want to say?
So, my name is Evelyn, and I have been living in Tanzania for the past 4 years with my husband and our family. We really excited to be here. Um, we have grown accustomed to life here. We felt led to be here. So yeah, we are.
I'm back, family. Patient with me. And I just want to
Hold
go
on,
ahead and
Pastor Betty. We just doing
oh, I'm
introductions.
sorry. I'm
Pastor
sorry.
Betty, we
Sorry.
just doing
Sorry.
introductions.
Okay.
Give me the headphones on. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sister Evelyn, I don't know if you was finished or you continue it.
I'm good.
All right. Okay, I think.
Uh,
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Cloud and Miss Maria, y'all want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Um,
Hi, my name is Maria, and this is my husband, Claude. We have been in Tanzania for the last 3.5 years. We live out here in Bagamoyo. We have a sustainable farm that my husband and I work on. We also have a YouTube channel, the Jamaican African Travels, and we are happy to be here with you today.
Yeah, and also I think the Most High sent us over here to lead these children. He chose the one over here to get them secure, and that's why we get in so much fight because
Okay.
the strongest soldier get the hardest fight. The realest people struggle the most. So with the year, hold the faith, believe in the Most High, as Isaiah 59 verse 19 tell you, when the enemy comes up upon you like a flood, he will send the Holy Spirit to wage war against them. So they are fighting a losing battle. Yeah, my brother.
Hallelujah. All right. Um, and let me see. Sister Wanda, I see she just hopped on. All right. Sister Wanda, if you want to introduce yourself, I know you just hopped on. All right, let's give her a moment, and
You can
let
hear
me
me,
add
Arthur?
Uncle Bobby back on. All right, Uncle Bobby. Yeah, you want to go and introduce yourself, Unc?
Yes. My name is Bobby Smith. As he said, I'm his uncle. Sister Betty's my sister. Uh, I got with Sister Betty 3 or 4 years ago. We got in this. She started leading me to the right ministry and giving me the word of the Most High. So I give all praises to Him for her leading me, and with the endeavors that we have in Africa. Uh, I am very pleased to say that the Most High have led me every step of the way. And as far as my finance, I invested in it financially, and not only for my benefit, but for the glory of the Most High.
Hallelujah. All right, and we got Sister Wanda. You want to introduce yourself? Hey, okay, I'll go first. Okay, all right. If Pastor Betty, are you I don't even know if she's in a position to go ahead and do the prayer at this moment.
Yes, yes, I am, Arthur. I'm gonna go ahead and make it happen, but let me. First of all, I want to just explain um who I am. I'm Pastor Betty. I have a YouTube channel, Betty Ya. I'm a child care owner, and you know that I'm a pastor. I live Alpha and Omega Church of the Living Assembly of the Living Yah. Um, the Most High has given me discernment and wisdom and knowledge that whenever I meet somebody and I hear them talk, I watch their movement, their actions. I pay attention to what they say, how they say, and also it is good to pay attention to how a person shows a person respect. That tells a lot about their character. How do you respect another person? Respect your elders. That tells a tremendous a lot about what type of person you are. Do I want to be your neighbor? Do I want to interact with you in any way? It may take a minute for us to understand who they really are, but know for an surety, once a person shows you who they are and what they're about, it is up to you to figure out, is this something I want to enter with? Is this somebody I want to deal with? See, I don't go back. If a fox shows me he's a fox, I'm going to believe that he's a fox. If a bear shows me that he's a bear, I'm going to believe that he's a bear. If a snake shows me he's a snake and that snake bite me or get close to me, so there's no channel, there's no ministry that can tell me that that's not a snake and that's not a bear or that's not a fox. Believe it, because the Most High has given us discernment, wisdom, and knowledge to understand what meaning Not all battles that we deal with are earthly battles. See, people don't realize that you go into spiritual battles. These spiritual battles may affect you physically and mentally. Mentally more because now you're spiritual form. So right now the diaspora is under a spiritual attack of wickedness. And I don't care who it's coming from. I said what I said. We are under a spiritual attack. How do we know that? Because nothing but lies, lies from the pits of hell with no proof, no foundation. There's no foundation to this spirit of wickedness, deceit, and lies. Listen, family, let's get out of our feelings about wickedness that's going on right now with the diaspora. Let's get into a more battle in a spiritual and fasting and meditative way to battle. See, we can't battle everything with a physical thing or with our mouth. Let's close our mouths through prayer and meditation and battle this situation in a spiritual way with the Most High. Let's allow His Ruach HaKodesh, to guide us and lead us as we navigate through this spiritual battle that we're on. Let's put on the whole High Yahuwah and go into a spiritual battle. Let's let the Most High Yahuwah take over this battle that we're in because He says it's not, the battle is not ours but mine. The battle is the Most High Yahuwah's. So let's lighten up, family. Allow this spiritual battle to weigh down on our hearts and minds right now. Let's rise up above it. Let's battle this spiritual battle on a spiritual realm using all the tools that the Most High has given us, meditation and prayer, ourselves, keeping ourselves set apart and clean and pure. Let's battle this on a more spiritual level where we can be winners, where we can be winners of this battle that we're in right now. Trust and believe that the Most High has already won this battle because look, nation that they're built on lies and deceit, backwardness, wickedness. Guess what? It is going to be torn down. It is going to be torn down. Keep the faith. Stay strong. Keep on your armor. Put on your helmet, your blessed breastplate, your belt, your boots, eggs and armor. Get your shield. Grab your sword of fire, which is the rhema word of Yahuwah, and battle. We don't have to battle with the mouth. We've been through that. Stop it. We can't win like that. Allow Him to use us in every way to combat. That is the only way for us to win. And the Most High Yahuwah, through His Son Yahushua HaMashiach, I say amen, amen, and hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Arthur, I can't hear you.
Wow, I was on mute.
Okay.
All right. So everyone, welcome again to the 2025 Africa Thrive Part 5. I think somebody. So this evening we just gonna discuss. This evening and afternoon we're gonna discuss the mentality that we need to have. I think we got some feedback from somebody. Like the mentality we need to have as far as emotional preparation prior to getting to the continent. We have some great people on the panel that are living in Africa, thriving in Tanzania, and they're doing everything that the Most High has allowed them to do on the ground. And we want to advise people on how to navigate the different opportunities, because when you come to Tanzania, or when you get to Tanzania, you have your wealth, and we know that the wealth that we bring is it's an opportunity for us to make big things happen. But if you don't navigate it properly, then you can have some struggles. So what I'm gonna do next is do a short presentation. And no one asked me to do this presentation, but I decided that I wanted to do it. And uh, I just want to make sure everyone can see entire screen. All right, all right, all right. Can y'all let me know if you can see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can see it.
All right, everyone can see it. Okay. All right. I'm hoping that this thing will uh not mess it up too bad.
Yes, I
Okay,
see it.
so I put together this presentation because I wanted to give knowledge to a lot of the diaspora who don't really know who Jamaican African Travels is. We got Brother Clyde and Sister Maria on here today, and I just feel like they are a true testament of what you should be doing when you get back to the motherland. So I'm gonna just tell y'all a little bit about them and kind of what they do and the kind of role that they've been playing in the past, couple years that they've been on the ground in Tanzania. All right, so meet the farmers. Brother Clyde and Sister Maria are the passionate and dedicated owners of an organic farm and sustainable homestead located in Bagamoyo, Tanzania. Starting from little more than a shared vision, they had a deep commitment to environmental and stewardship. They built their farm, from the ground up, relying solely on their experience, our expertise, and hard work. So without any external investors or outside financial support, with years of experience in farming, project management, they have transformed their homestead into a thriving, self-sustainable ecosystem that showcases interactive or innovative, innovative agricultural practices, organic produce, and eco-friendly living. So I know Mr. Cloud and Mr. Red didn't ask me to do this. I mean, I felt led to do it. And, I feel like we should show honor to the people who are doing good work, and they are building something that a lot of us want to build in Tanzania. A lot of us want to live off the land. So I feel like they've been doing that, and they have also taken on another chip, that they didn't necessarily want to step into, but I feel like the Most High have positioned them and given them another fight and another, place that they have to be in. So I'm gonna go to the next one. So in addition to their work on the farm, Brother Clyde and Sister Maria are deeply committed to giving back to the diaspora community. They regularly offer mentorship, training, resources to fellow expats and locals, sharing their knowledge on sustainable farming, entrepreneurship, and project management. Their mission is not only to build a successful business, but also to uplift and empower others in the diaspora community, helping to create a network of support, collaboration, and growth. Their holistic approach to farming and community development has made them respected leaders in both the agriculture and expat communities in Tanzania. So I'm gonna talk about their strengths, and we know this is biblical. And as I typed these strengths, I knew that these are things that I have witnessed firsthand. I know that these people have these strengths. I know that they're patient, because to deal with me and to know me and how stubborn and hard headed I am, they man, they stood by me, they stood with me and my wife, and they're still standing with us to this day, and I've witnessed them stand with other diaspora. So patience, so essential for understanding and respecting the differences in cultures. So Mr. Clyde and Miss Maria are Jamaicans, and they are from a different culture. They lived in the US for many years and worked and thrived. They moved to Tanzania, but they deal with a lot of expats from different backgrounds, but yet they're still patient, and they try to understand where everyone is coming from. So, with their experiences within the expat community, the patience that Brother Cloud and Miss Maria has shown fosters harmony and helps individuals navigate the challenges of living in a new country. So, kindness. Brother Clyde and Miss Maria consistent or constantly shows acts of kindness to the diaspora community that help create an atmosphere of mutual respect and care, making it easier for people to connect and support one another. So in the expat community, these small gestures of kindness have led to a stronger bond. I know that without them, I wouldn't have connected with a lot of good diaspora who are like genuine people. So I know that a lot of people know Mr. Clyde and Miss Maria who are living in Tanzania. They do a lot of consultations, but people really see their fruits when you meet them in person, when you deal with them. So I'm gonna go to the next one. Gentleness. Mr. Clyde, our brother Clyde and Sister Maria promotes true understanding and empathy in conversations and interactions, helping resolve conflicts peacefully, and ensuring that everyone's voice is heard and respected. They truly care about everyone's voice. They truly take the time to try to understand people, and they truly try to resolve things peacefully. Sometimes it's them standing off to the side. Sometimes it's just them encouraging people to stay. Because some diaspora come to Tanzania and they want to leave right away because they dealt with some issue. But Mr. Cloud and Miss Maria really motivates them to keep pushing, like trust the most high, like you can do it. When you come to Tanzania, you have to have a mindset to want to stay. So last one, self-control. In diverse and sometimes challenging environments, self-control helps expats manage emotions, set healthy boundaries, and maintain peace within the community, assuring constructive passive interactions. Brother Clyde and Sister Maria has shown so much selflessness and self-control. I've witnessed them maintain self-control, and I've witnessed firsthand the selflessness that they will freely give of themselves, things that they don't really have. They'll extend it. They'll extend their time and help, and it takes a lot on a person. It takes a lot on the family to do that. So I know they love and care about the diaspora community. I know that it's important that the diaspora community try to understand who they are and what they stand for and what they really do. All right, so next one. Brother Clyde and Sister Maria are experts in passion fruit tree botany. If you don't know what botany is the study of planting and growing and understanding the actual plant and then the science behind the plant. So
Pretty.
they grow amazing passion fruit. So when you get to Tanzania, they have, if it's in season and it's time, they yield the fruit. They'll freely let you try the fruit that they have on their shamba. So Brother Clyde and Sister Maria are experts in banana and plantain tree botany. So Mr. Clark got probably over 5 different varieties of plantains and bananas on his shamba. These are actually are this image to the right is actually an image, or to the left is actually an image from his shamba. So I took that picture when I did the tour. I did many tours of his shamba in Tanzania. So they're doing an amazing work. You know, they have built their own shamba from ground up. So when you get to Tanzania and you have the time to connect with them and meet with them genuinely, check out what they're doing. You can be inspired because a lot of people are inspired by them when they go out to Bagamoyo. All right, so Brother Clyde and Sister Maria are experts in papaya tree planting. They have some amazing. They always gave us papaya every time they brought a big delivery of fruit and vegetables. We didn't even ask them to bring certain things. They just give us a little bit of everything. So in Tanzania, a lot of locals grow papaya. So they also have some good papaya. So when you visit the shamba, you can check that out as well. All right, now this is one of my favorites because this is really what inspires me a lot too. Brother Cloud and Sister Maria also built their own fish pond on their land. So they have a fish pond on in like the middle of their shamba, and they use a lot of the water from the fish pond to water the planting trees and banana trees because it's very healthy for the banana trees and the planting trees. But these are people who are doing the work with their own hands. They are not out here asking people for donations. They do the work for you. If you need guidance and consultations, or you need them to walk with you step by step, they have freely given that service to a lot of people. And I know they have done a lot of free services for the community. So I feel like despite people are saying, Jamaican this, Jamaican that, these people are of the tribe
They have done
of Israel.
free
So
service
it's
in the
very
community.
important that
So
we all
I feel
understand
like
that these people are a key role. They play a key role in uniting the diaspora community. All right. So In closing, this is the last part I got for y'all, fam. So I know everybody's like, when you gonna wrap this up? So, Brother Clyde and Sister Maria have shown righteousness in their work and dedication to the diaspora community in Tanzania. Through their unwavering faith in the Most High Yah, they have not only they have built not only a thriving organic forum, but also a strong supportive network for fellow expats. Their commitment to giving back, sharing knowledge, and fostering unity has earned them deep respect within the community. It is it is only fitting that they be shown the same love and support they have consistently extended to others. So I have witnessed them constantly extend themselves for people. I've seen them go above and beyond for people, giving them advice, taking the time to truly help them. And they even get put in situations that they didn't ask to be in. People come to their doorstep begging for help. And for the community not to really understand and respect them, like, we really need to do, some soul searching and really do some heart searching, because if you don't understand what they do and the role that they play, a lot of diaspora would not be in Tanzania anymore. Me and my family wouldn't be able to thrive in Tanzania if it wasn't for Mr. Clyde and Miss Maria, because otherwise we will be left out in a desolate place without any resources. So the Most High has put them in place to be able to help a lot of people, and we need to give them the due respect. So that's all I have on that, and we're gonna get into the conference
Hey, 1 minute.
because
1 minute.
oh, I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead.
I'd like to add to that.
Okay,
As
go ahead.
I was coming and we sent Arthur over to check out everything. When he went, I think 2 weeks the first time he went over. Then he came. Then he came back, and then he went to live with his family. Let me give you all a little history on my background. I don't judge anyone because the Most High, He quit. I don't judge anyone. But I'm 20 years retired police officer, 13 years Army. I've been 17 years now in banking. That's insurance to every investment that you consider that banking incurs, because we are a small uh, community bank. So you pretty well know everything and everybody. So saying that, when I invest my funds, I am very leery of who I trust. I worked as a detective for homicide to petty thefts. And believe me, I've been to the FBI Academy. I know when someone's lying. I know when I can trust a person. But that sense only got stronger when I began this walk in the Most High. My discernment got better. And when I met Mr. Clyde and Miss Maria for the first time, and they took us to their shamba, I could see the works. He was showing us other land out there that was not developed, and I could see no works. But I seen the fruits of their labor. I trusted them. I didn't take anyone's word for it. I had boots on the ground. And so until you put boots on the ground and talk to Miss Maria and Mr. Clyde in person or personally, do not judge. We are not judges. Do not call people evil when you know them not. Do not, and as a detective, as far as paperwork and sending that to someone, I have worked so many fraud cases with paperwork that someone typed up for themselves and sent that it's ridiculous, even on the state and federal level. So don't judge anyone or call them wicked when you don't have the whole story. My motto used to be that if I can't prove you guilty, I'm not. If I can't prove you guilty, I'm not going to say anything. So that's my closing. I trust Miss Real. They have helped us with our shamba. We have seen their works, and that's the only thing I'm judging them off of. I'm finished, nephew. Thank you, guys.
Hallelujah. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if anybody else want to chime in before we move forward. Ain't want to cut anybody else off.
It's okay. I would love to.
Okay.
He was giving people their flowers. But while
Hey, Sister Evelyn, your sound is kind of low. I'm not sure if it's just me.
Can you hear me better if I come closer?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I believe in giving flowers now, not later. So Maria and Claude have been very, very good people to myself and to my family as well. Even though we don't get to see each other as much, I'm always calling them for advice. Currently, we are building um, our home, and I have them almost daily. So I love them. Thank them for being the people that they are, honest and steadfast. So I know they've been through a lot within the diaspora community with certain people. I don't. Maybe we shouldn't get into their names. I personally don't care, but uh, yeah, these people are not who they seem to be. They've had to go through a lot dealing with them. But at the end of the day, that's not what it's about. What it's about is seeing the fruits of what someone says they're going to do and if they're doing it. That's what it's about. If
Hallelujah.
you haven't seen it, then it's not happening, folks. It's not. So,
Yes.
all right. That's all I have to say. Thank you, family.
Thank you, Sister
I'm gonna
Evelyn.
I'm gonna say something right quick, and this is gonna resonate. I was married to a Jamaican for over 10 years, and I've been to the island of Jamaica. I thought, my husband was Jamaican, so I was in the Jamaican community, for a long time, and I adopted two daughters from Jamaica, and they still with me. I got them when they was 10 and 11. They are now 41 and 38. Leery of people, period, especially women. But I gave Mr. Clyde and Miss Maria the same opportunity to allow me to see who they were, how they believed, how they worshiped, how they moved with me and my family, especially my son and my daughter-in-law and my two granddaughters. I watched those two people play and interact with my little granddaughters. I watched how my granddaughters played and people. I'm very, very peculiar and funny about my grandkids. You better know that. I don't allow them to get to know people and deal with people easily. I'm not easy when it comes down to that. So when I went to the continent of Africa, Tanzania, down there, Mr. Clyde and Miss Maria, we interact with them a lot. We got to meet other people from the diaspora down there also. So I did get my feet on the ground. I did get my hands dirty down there. So listen, my discernment told me back to America who I was dealing with. I know what type of people I'm dealing with. I don't make friends out of people real easy. Very hard to be friends with me. Very hard to be close to me. But I know for an surety what I've seen of that. They are a blessed couple and they have brought peace and blessings in our lives from the day I met them until this day. I will stand by and back them 100%. Me, Betty Bent, my brother, Bobby Smith, my son, Arthur White. Oh, that is my opinion and that is my point. Again, you can email me, you can go to my channel, you can message me. Anybody is welcome to do that. If you feel any type of way of what I'm saying, do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hallelujah.
Arthur, I just want to say I feel humbled. I feel humbled. I can let Claude speak for himself. Um, this is just who we are as a people, as a person. This is how I am. I give and I give it all. And I'm not going to come in here to try to prove to anybody who us know exactly the type of persons we are. That was, we took a knock on the chin with whatever is going on, but we're okay. And we'll keep on doing what we're doing. We'll keep on doing what we're doing. If we see injustice that does not stand on truth and righteousness, I'm not a judge, but I'm going to stop you. And you let allow to ruin the beautiful opportunity of continent. I it's very hard as it is to navigate, and to navigate with somebody that's not does not have your interests makes it 10 times worse. So without me rambling on, I just want to thank you guys for that accolade. I appreciate it, and I with due respect, thank you.
Yeah. I thank you
Hallelujah.
all for your yeah, I thank you all for your compliment, and what you see is just who we are, because I'm not a pretender. And for me, I stand, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And two things I'm willing to die for: injustice and brutality. And I stand up and see injustice happening to my fellow diaspora, and I decide to step in. I tell my wife that I'm willing for she ride it out alone, but I'm going to stop this injustice. And we fight and fight till
We have victory.
some people get justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all the
Hallelujah.
lies, and yeah, that's what going on, because some people saying that we're stopping their food. I'm not stopping the food. I just stopping people from hurting other diaspora. So yeah.
Hallelujah.
Thanks, Arthur.
Hey, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Okay, fam. So I'm gonna go back to this slide, to the beginning of this presentation. I'm gonna just leave it up. All right. So we're gonna get started. So as you guys know, we are. I don't know if I can see you or not. Can I see you? Breathing so hard. All right, fam. So as you know, we want to discuss some main things, and some of the areas that we're going to focus on today is mentally and emotionally preparing for relocating to Africa, financial planning and budgeting in Africa, building a support network in a new country, and peace and unity in the expat community. So we are going to start actually with Sister Wanda. Sister Wanda, you mind going first today? All right, so Sister Wanda, we're just gonna start with the first question, and you can share as much as you want. Um, you can just try to keep every
Yes.
response at t- at least 2 minutes. So, panel, the first question
Minute.
is, what are the key? Okay, sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. I think we just hear some feedback from your other device. Okay. Sister One, I don't know if that's your feedback. Let me see.
Okay. I think that was me.
Okay. All right. Yes, I don't hear it no more.
Gosh, I can't hear. I can't hear anything.
All right. Okay, so
Ay, ay,
Sister
ay,
Wanda,
ay, 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 ay.
can you still can't hear us now? All right. So you know what? Let's go to Sister Evelyn. Sister Evelyn, we'll go to you first. And we'll start under mentality and emotional preparing for relocating to Africa. So what are the key challenges for you, Sister Evelyn? What do you believe the key challenges for emotional challenges for expats and what they face when relocating to Africa? And how can they prepare for these emotional challenges?
So,
So now looking back, 4 years when we first came,
come on.
I wish I had a few tidbits of information that I have now. So let me start with some of the things that you can go through emotionally. There's the cultural adjustment. There's no way you can fully learn the culture unless you're here. You can do some YouTubing, some research, but you really won't know the culture until your feet on the ground. So that's just an adjustment that you're going to have to go through. Um, Hindsight 2020, I wish I would have done more self healing within myself um, before coming and dealing with the cultural adjustment, because then you're intertwining both of those things together, which adds a lot more fire to the flame, or a lot more oil to the flame. Let's put it like that. You deal with homesickness, being away from everything that you know and love and understand. Uh, Also, you start to deal with an identity crisis, you know, sense of I'm disconnected from who I in this realm. I came from Tennessee. I love Tennessee. I live in Tennessee. So now who am I in the street? You know. Another one was language barrier. So um, with me and my family, I wish we would have taken Swahili classes prior to coming. That would have helped us tremendously. I never would have thought about it. It didn't even cross my mind. But it's something that I have seen other cultures do, and they come fully prepared, literally come off the plane, have never been into and can speak full Swahili. Uh, Social integration is another big one. You know, understanding the social nuances um, of how this country works, and in understanding that you can't get it unless you're here. You can maybe like one of the ideas I have, and I tell people this now: if you haven't 1 to 2 years, do not start a business. Do not start a business unless you've been on the ground just living for 1 to 2 years. So
Okay.
my five um, points, and if you have
Sister Evelyn, your sound went all the way out.
now, I have internet. Hello, can you hear me now or no?
Um,
How about now? Is it good or no?
maybe that was me. Okay, maybe that was me.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So I was just saying those are my 5 points. If anyone has any questions or wants me to elaborate more, um, my final one, number 6, if you are already having within your marriage, I would advise you to handle those things where you are before coming to a whole new environment, because it makes things incredibly difficult. I repeat, if you're having issues within your marriage, if you're coming with a spouse, I would advise whatever issue where you are now before, and that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Sister Evelyn. That was good. That was good. All right. So I see Sister Wanda back on. So, Sister Wanda, I hope your sound thing is situated. I know it's always the day that we trying to do something that the issues.
Can you hear
You
me?
want to? Yes. Something. I think
Okay.
is. Yes, I can hear you good.
Okay. Can you ask the question
All
again?
right. So yes, I can. Let me pose the question correctly this time because I messed it up the first time. All right. So, what are the key emotional challenges expats face when relocating to Africa? How can they prepare for them?
Let me see. The emotional challenges.
Yes,
Um,
it's whatever you think
okay,
are the main
where to
ones that they
begin?
face.
Okay, because we come over here with brokenness, traumas, and hurts from the West. So we have to know that when we come here, that we do need time to heal before we just jump. Like Evelyn said, Sister Evelyn said, jumping right into business before you just sit down and decompress for a minute, get your bearings, get your food, your diet right, get your body right, and then so you can be able to focus and not bleed all over everyone else, especially if you come over here and you're not healed. Sometimes we don't realize we don't realize that we need healing until we come here where it's so peaceful, it's quiet, it's slow, and you can sit down and relax. Then you start seeing the issues that you got going on within yourself. So sometimes you need time to maybe spend time a little bit alone in prayer, or relaxing a little bit, not trying to rush around and start doing business, getting into groups and doing this and moving around too much. I think you just need to, like Sister Evelyn said, basically sit down for a minute just to get your thoughts together, and then kind of get a idea of the culture and the lay of the land and how things operate. Because also, if you come over here, it's not like the West. It's like a different world. So it's going to be kind of hard for you to jump right from the West into just jumping in here, doing business and moving around and just trying to, if you're a go-getter in America, you're not going to be able to control that here. You have to depend on locals, and you have to wait on things. So yes, it is to your benefit to sit down for a minute, to just get to know a couple of months, get to know the environment, the country, the people, how, just even some of the diaspora, if you want to connect with the diaspora, get time to spend time with them, get to know them before you just jump into trying to, set stuff up and do this and do that. Like you're in the West. It's not like that. So taking that time to relax, decompress, get your diet together, get your health right. If you're not, if your body has some sicknesses or whatever, change your diet. So I think it starts with us personally when we come here, personal healing, personal work that we have to do first before we try to immerse ourselves in trying to do business in this culture, trying to, just jump in and learn all this. Sometimes you got to heal, take time to heal yourself so you won't be toxic to other people. So that's kind of what I would recommend.
Thank you. Very good.
You don't take into consideration even the smallest things that can irritate you because you're not used to. I remember sitting down for the first time, and it was 2 hours before I got food. And when I got food, they handed me a spoon to eat with. I'm like, why are you giving me a spoon? I need a. I'm saying you're already dealing with so much stuff, luggage, kids, da da da.
Oh, we lost her. We
and
lost her. All right. Um, let's give her a moment to come back. Mr. Cloud and Miss Maria, you guys want to go up next for question number one
I'll
under
piggyback off what Wanda says. Sister Wanda, can you hear me?
yes.
Yes. Okay. I'll piggyback from what Sister Wanda said and what Sister Evelyn said. We were here a whole 9 months before we started venturing and looking and planning as to what our next move would be. We took the first 9 months to climatize, to say the least. But you see, Tanzania is reminiscent of the island. So it wasn't too much of an adjustment culturally. I mean, we didn't know the language that we had to try to catch up on, and we still lagging, but we were able to take that 9 months to infuse ourselves into the little community where we live, into, navigate into different locations. We took the first 9 months to, and then after that was when we realized, okay, we had to speed up something because we didn't come here to we didn't have a plan, but being here we knew that we had to make a plan. And Evelyn is right when she said, take your time before you get into business because it's a lot. It's not easy to navigate. For me, I had Claude, so I had a buffer. He had a buffer with me. So as a couple, it was a little bit easier for us to do. We have
Yeah. Well, I know from many family, it's really hard when you have to leave your loved one behind, and especially when you leave the comfort zone, toll on people here. But the day when for me, I come with a different mindset because the day when I leave in the airport, I throw a stone behind me that I'm not returning. So that's how when I hear I am in Tanzania, I'm not in West. So I unhappy over here because, like I keep said, when you have this double-minded, you're going to confuse, cannot make the right decision, and you're going to let yourself unhappy. So come with a single mind, and next thing, the more money you can bring, it's much better off because every $10,000 you spend over here as diaspora, and you have to add another 2,500 for that overcharge and not knowing the Swahili. So that is extra money you have to bring. And for me, the more earlier you can start your business, it much better because you too much of your money going somewhere else where it doesn't make sense. And when you start business, many times it fails, so you have to need extra money to restart.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I would say the earlier, the better. And I think if I did start much earlier, I could accomplish more. So my advice to people, when you come, hit the ground running because you cannot waste money here. So you have to take the best care of it. The place teach you about money management.
that's the next one.
Yes,
That's point
and
two.
it teach you how to be humble, how to be patient, and how to manage your time. So this place is like when you leave in college, you have to come with a different mindset, attitude. You have to believe in yourself. You know, Marcus Garvey tell you without self-confidence, you're twice defeated in the race of life. So So when you come here, that is what you need: self-confident, willing to learn on the job. Because many people when they come on my farm, they asking me how many years farming I'm doing. Some of the things that I do over here, the first time in my life I ever do it at farm. And I came here as a painter and people call me farmer now, but I learn on the job and you have to be a fast learner else. And one other important thing, a lot of people start their business here. Oh, I leave it to Tanzania and then you go on safari. When you come back, you're not going to see any money. So, the billionaire, when in the initial stage of their business, they spend 50 to 60 hours per week. They study what others doing and learn while you're going. You cannot leave your business when you're here. Your money is important here. And if if Babylon fall and you don't have money over here, you're going down with Babylon like the Titanic. So we have to serious when we come here. So this is all I have to say.
Hallelujah. All right. So, Uncle Bobby, I know you ain't moved to Tanzania. What advice would you give? In look like Sister Betty
Say
said
that
something.
to everybody because I'm back at my class.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back
Thank
at
you.
class now, Arthur, so I'm gonna have to jump off. All praise to the Most High Yahuwah, to everybody that's on the panel. May He guide you and lead you through everything that we're dealing with and into the future. Bye.
Thank you. Love you. All right. So, Uncle Bobby, I know you haven't moved yet, but you preparing to move. So, if you want to just add any advice just from your experience with traveling to Tanzania. Um,
Okay. My experience was, well, I guess it didn't. Well, we sent Arthur over first, like I expressed, and he pretty well. We did calls, 2 or 3 times a week, and he was telling me about how the culture was, and uh, and basically being in the military, I had been to several countries anyway, and the saying was, when you're in the military, you don't go and try to change that country. You go and try to change to adapt to their ways. So I was in the mindset that I wasn't going to go there to change anybody's way of living. I wasn't going to try to change their mind, how they thought, how they paid, how they worked. My mindset was to go over there like the Most High had led me to do what I did because He gave me the finances, and He, like I said, we sent Arthur over there first. It was like him. We were being in the wilderness. You send out your scouts, it's like the army, to assess the situation. And Arthur had gave me a great vision of that. And so it wasn't much of a culture shock because the first time I hit ground when I had a layover, what was it? I think it was South Africa somewhere. I felt so spiritually connected to the land and so free by seeing a bunch of us, our color. So being law enforcement, I know how that feels with a lot of people when you see the police or the army. You feel threatened. That I did not. And once I got into Tanzania and I got into Dar es Salaam, I even felt better when I had feet on the dirt. So I don't think I learned to listen. And in every country I went to, I can say enough or express enough just to get by and not insult anybody. So it wasn't a big shock. And from the minute I got there, I love it. And I didn't want to leave. If it weren't for my job, they didn't even want me to go 3 weeks. I said, I don't want to leave. I started transferring all my retirements, all my banking, and right over there in the country. That's how much I loved it. And I don't know if I got homesick because I had the internet. When I talked to people, I talked to them. That was it. If I didn't talk to them for 3 or 4 days, I was good because I had such peace of mind in seeing the people and after visiting Mr. Clark and seeing other diasporas there. So I just give that to the glory of the Most High that I think we really have to go back to scriptures. When he said he knew us from the day he blew breath in us, he knew that the journey I took to get to this life, it was going to help me be where I am now. So like I said, I just running there, and I'll get into that financial later. But as far as the emotional I don't think it took that at all. I was talking to people about. I said, I can't wait to get over there, Bobby. You saying this here? I can't wait to get over there. I mean, brothers, cousins, friends. I said, and one reason as far as cultural value, I didn't mind being 30 or 40 years behind because I'm with the old thing. I like to barter and trade because when this money system, B system goes down, that's going to be the only means that you are going to be able to survive and eat. So as far as emotional value, some of the ways that they do some of these things, and I'll get into that in my financial view, but I was good emotionally. But I thank the Most High for that. And I thank my nephew for preparing me, for it. And him putting him over there. Thank you.
Can I shout out Brother Claude and Sister Marie? I didn't get them a shout out.
Go ahead. Okay.
I didn't get to give my point of view on how they've been doing. I'm so proud and so I look up to them. Like I aspire to be like them. I want to tell them, keep doing what you're doing. You are actually examples of the Bible. You're doing what the biblical scriptures say, that we should look out for others and stand for others who can't stand for themselves, and speak for others who maybe don't know how to speak for themselves or don't understand how to fight for themselves in certain situations. So I say, keep standing, keep doing what you're doing, keep being that light, keep standing for righteousness. And we see your fruit, we see your good work and your good name. And so all praises to the Most High for you. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Wanda. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. So, panel, let's go to the next question. We'll go to financial planning and budgeting. And I feel like, I was going to do somewhat of a presentation on that, but I think I'm going to wait because everybody's budget is different and everybody's situation is very different. So I hope y'all can hear me good. So we're going to go back to, we'll just go to Sister Wanda. We'll start with you as far as the financial planning and budgeting in Africa. And so people that are watching, if you would like to even chime in, if you have experience in Tanzania or living abroad and you want to leave some things in the comment, you can do that. So Sister Wanda, what are the most important considerations when creating a budget in Africa or in an African country, given the varying cost of living and exchange rates? So you can talk to us about how you navigate the banking system and how you, do different things if you want to add that too. But whatever you feel comfortable with adding.
Oh, sure. What I would say is, first of all, don't compare US dollars to T shillings when you come here. Don't be like, oh, in the US it's only this, so this is not a lot. It's only this, because you end up overspending. You have to learn the money and you have to learn the prices for things, even if you start out with small things like fruit or vegetables or something that you buy all the time to eat. The prices and then prices. So that's one thing that you could kind of do, is to start looking at their currency and their prices and not comparing them to what we pay in the US, what this costs in the US, because you do tend to spend more when you do that. As well as you be strict with have a budget too, but be strict with your budget. Like, even if you have money to start a business, and even if you have money to, do this and that, $10,000, 20, 30, whatever you have, live like you don't have a lot. Start out like that, because I wish I would have done that. Living like I was on a strict budget from day one. I wish I would have done that because I spent a lot of money on food, out eating, and you waste a lot of money when you don't have a budget. One, and then you comparing U.S. prices to Tanzanian prices, and then you think because I got $10,000 or 20 or 30 that I could just go here and eat this, do this instead of cooking at home, preparing your own meals, which is healthier anyway. And so you have to start out with your boots on the ground, start out on a budget because this register. You don't know emergency expenses that may come up in between the process. You know you have to pay for rent 3 to 6 months, a year, whatever. So you just got to be kind of on a, like, you know, for me, I say I live like a local. That's what I tell people. I live like a local. So it does not matter how much money I have or that I'm blessed with or that I earn. I still live like I'm on a strict budget. Like I live like I don't have a lot. So I have what I need, but you don't have to spend everything you have all the time. As long as you got your basic necessities met, you know, your roof over your head, your food, you know, your basic, you know, you got to consider additional expenses like transportation, you know, to the grocery store, your grocery, all these extra expenses that you are not thinking about because you're running out here spending money, eating out and all that. So I guess those are the few things that I would say when you come here, to make sure you stay on a strict budget. I don't care how much money you have. Even when you create your business, you don't have to tell them how much money you got. They don't need to know how much money you got for your business. They don't need to know all that. You try to get the cheapest price, the best, you know, deal, negotiating for your business, for your land, for whatever. They don't need to know I got $10,000 that I want to spend on some land. They don't need to know that. You know, you keep it kind of to yourself, and you act like you don't have nothing. You act like you don't have, you broke like them. Like they say, oh, Kidogo, you say Kidogo too. I don't have a lot, but even if you do, because you don't know what you may have to pay additional, and they're gonna overcharge you anyway. So I mean, I'm just saying you're gonna be upcharged a little bit when they hear that English. So keep those things in mind, that you stay on your budget and you be kind of strict with it. You spend where you need to, but where you don't need to, don't spend extra unnecessarily. So I guess that's it.
Okay, thank you, Sister Wanda. So look, like we say, that's how I be in the village. Pagumzo. I want a discount on everything. They either gonna tell me no discount, but I'm gonna ask regardless. All right, so Sister Evelyn, we're gonna go to you. We're gonna pose the same question. So, what are the most important considerations when creating a budget in an African country, given the varying cost of living and exchange rates?
Okay, so for me, when I first got here, those little pink 10,000 T-shilling bills, I was tossing them like they were candy. Oh, it's only like $3. Everybody got a tip. Those people were like, "What?" I'm giving everybody 10,000 T-shirts. I'm just spreading the love. And after about 6 months, I had made a husband and I had become their friends. We became kind of close. And, you know, she said something to me, and I had no idea of this. She said, you know, what you're doing is detrimental to us. And I said, what do you mean? What do you mean by this? So, I mean, her husband's an architecture. She was a prominent owner of a school. And she said, listen, I right now cannot afford help in my home, which we call it dada wakazis. These are people that come and you can pay to help you in your home. She said, at this current pace, I can't, because what you all are doing is driving the prices of things so much. By what you're spending, you're changing the dynamics of the economy. So people who are who have regular jobs can no longer afford help in their home, can no longer afford. And the light bulb went off. And I said, wait a minute, I need to start living according to the standard of what is already imposed. Like Sister Wanda said, there is going to be already a surcharge that's going to be elevated for us, because once they hear that tone, that English tone, they already changed that. But you try your best, and don't do like me. Please don't be like me. You just throwing them 10,000 T shillings just everywhere. No, that hurts not only us, but it hurts them as well. Recently, I was discussing the same topic with someone else that's living in Dar, and currently they're paying their Dada Wakazis 600,000 to 1 million T shilling a month now. I, I I never even heard of that. So you can imagine prominent people who are
That's
there
crazy.
are like, what we are doing, what we as diasporan are doing, and maybe not just us. Of course, it's probably some of the other um, expatriates that are here as well. It's changing the economy for even the local people that are from, or the Tanzanians that are from here. So we need to be very mindful of that. As far as your budget, we came with a family of 7, and we spent in 2 years about 70,000 USD in 2 years. Now, for a lot of us, that may not be a lot, but when you compare it to the
What?
United States, yeah, it may not be a lot compared to the United States. For most people, it's like, whatever. But when you're looking
They
at
balling.
there's no money coming in, you still don't have your business, you don't have a job here, you don't have income coming in, you're just spending out, and it's a daily expense. And I know it's like unfathomable, like you can't fathom that, but it is. So you're thinking of, you're paying people that help you in your home, you're paying for food, and food doesn't last here. Food is very, very straight from the ground. So I remember I bought some tomatoes, and I put them in the fridge, and in 2 days they were spoiled. What kind of foolishness is this? And I realized this is real food. This happens with real food. So food doesn't just, you have to cook it and eat it. And so, because I had to, I was thinking, no, 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 we just have to eat out. So we ate out a lot. I'm with Wanda. We ate out a lot, a huge portion of our budget eating out, because you come from a location where, even if you're buying organic, I'm in Tennessee, I'm buying organic. I buy all my frozen vegetables, organic. Quick food, throw it in a crock pot. Da, 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 da. No, honey, here it's chop it. The only thing you're not doing is getting it from the ground. It's, you go to the market, you collect it, you cook it, you chop it, you clean it, you store, you do it all yourself.
I'm
So,
hungry
I
right
mean,
now.
yeah, I don't know what else. It's just that your budget needs to be cut in half. Whatever you're spending now, a half to a quarter of that, do your best to maintain. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. That was good. That was good. All right, Mr. Cloud and Miss Maria pose the same question. What are the most important considerations when creating a budget in an African country, given the varying cost of living and exchange rates? So y'all can add as much as you want.
Well, for us, when we came here, we became instant millionaires. I've never been a millionaire. So, so we had to, for me, my concern was the rent. We were living in a very nice area, and we're pre-retirement. We're not getting that money coming in. And I'm calculating what we came here with. And I realized that we will not be able to sustain long term paying that rent. So from my mindset was we have to get somewhere where it's our own. And that's when we ventured out and started looking into having, okay, so we had the farm and I knew we wanted to live on the farm. There we're going to cut out that rent. We're going to do all in one. We're going to cut out that rent. So we got rid of that bill when we had our business up and running. Then utilities, it's not a lot, it's cheap. It's not a lot you have to pay, but I wanted to eliminate that right off the bat. Claude and I, it's not just me. I wanted to eliminate the utilities. So we went solar. So that's an option. Or solar is not 100%, but we have power now. You can see me, right? Mm-hmm. So it's working for us. We, yes, we wanted our own water source. So we didn't want to be paying that water bill to Dawa. So we took that money that we came with to get these necessary infrastructure in on the farm. So that way, in the long run, we eliminate all of those bills. One of the top bills we had was our transportation, because we were going back and forth at the time. And gas might be a lot cheaper than in the US, but when you're commuting, it adds up. And Claude is the number person, and he was keeping a tally and how much we were paying for gasoline schlepping back and forth. And it roughly add up to about $1 million a month?
Yeah.
$1 million a month from where we live to the Shamba every day, 6 days a week. So we had to eliminate that. So you have to be very strategic in how you save your money. With food, okay, we don't go to the supermarket. Maybe once every 3 months, we'll go into the big box supermarket to get our necessary, stuff that we miss. But for the most part, we live off the land and we go to our local market. And that way we cut back on money. Right now, if the system should fall, I think we are okay. A little, yeah, about 70%.
About 85.
But Claude said 85. We're okay because you set up the necessary infrastructure for the long-term survival. And I look at money now weird because I have it. I'm happy to see it, and it does make you feel like you're living, but for me, I can live without it if I had to. So you have anything you want to say?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My advice to the diaspora, when you first came here, if you came on vacation, well, it's a different scenario. But if you come to live, you have to change your mindset. You have to be careful with your money. And for me, I would advise people stay far away from the airport. You will save more money.
What that mean?
No, when you live near the airport, that means you look to go back over the west. So I live in the bush. Yeah. So I live in the bush because, I look at it, I don't want to move to the bush when I forced to. I want to go to the bush to live when I chose to. Because when you grow up, that's when you have to find the village. So I try to work myself now from the village back to the seafront because I need a house on the ocean. I want our disabled people when we come here. We have to do things for ourselves. As much as you can. When we first came here, I used to cut my own lawn. and my wife would do the housework. That means even when we leave the house, they believe that we still leave the yard boy and the helper inside, so no one would come over because they always see me working. So they believe that me is the yard boy working there. So we do a lot of things for ourselves. And you know, one thing I realized that I do wrong, I was doing wrong. I plant some with chocolate sweet pepper. You know that big 5 gallon, I full it way over and I got only $9,000 for it. So
9,000 shillings.
Yeah, 9,000 shillings.
Tanzanian shillings.
And I used to give her so much money. That's when I realized I doing something wrong. So I have to tighten up. First time, even 1,000 we leave it at the counter. No, I have to wait and Eftano. No, not Eftano. Meatano. I don't leave it. I have to because I need it. And the next thing, people, if you can cut back.
Exactly, not 1 shilling.
Yeah, if you can cut back and just deal with the needs, put the wants aside. Because this place, you don't know how difficult it be until when you run out of the US dollar.
Exactly.
And like I said, you know, when you just come here, if you pay a little extra, you cannot make a big deal because you know you have the advantage over them because the US dollar is much stronger than their money because when someone you give someone one of your dollars and you have to take count out
2,000.
no, 22,000. So when we came here, we have to put our money in value that it can help us in the long run. That means if we run out of money, because trust me, like, I can't find my food around the farm. If you call me right now to a function, I might just stop on the road and sell before I meet you up because that's why I live here. What I don't produce, I exchange. So, you know, when you come here, if you cannot be down to earth, you're not going to make it here, my brother. You know, I remember one day I employ one employee here. So he greet my wife. So when my wife called me and said, greet my husband, the guy looked me from my head to toe before he could acknowledge me. Even when my wife tell him it's my husband, he did not believe it. It's the next day when he see me give him an order, he realized that me is the boss for the farm because I work on my farm to help to cut down the cost. And another thing, when we moved from Dar es Salaam, we came to Bagamoyo. The money that we saved within 9 months to cut down the rent, it built our house from foundation to built in where the roof start. So people, sometimes we have to just cut down on that big house that we want to live. We cannot live that luxury or lavish lifestyle that we used to over West. We will feel over here and I don't love to see anyone come here and have to go back to the West because them run out of money because of mixed man. You can ride out this time, trust me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. That was good advice. Y'all better listen. All right. So on that note, I'm just gonna share. And Uncle Bobby, I'll let you add in just a moment. I'm gonna share my screen because I want to show you
something when she's there, my niece.
Let me see. Share
Give me some water.
entire screen. All right. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Okay.
and I know most people who say they're doing a budget sometimes I know for our people, a budget is just in our mind. We know we got this amount of money, and we say, hey, we're gonna try to stay within that. But most of the time in your budget, sometimes you overspend. So for us, I mean, I would just be honest. I don't think my wife was too big involved with this budget as she should have been. She don't like me saying that, but I'm just gonna say this: just being transparent. Husband and wife need to be involved in this budgeting because it takes both of you to be on the same page. So for people, you coming with your wife, you come with your husband, it's important that everybody is bought in to the budget. So initially, when we came to Tanzania, we knew that we had about $1,000 and 200. And like Mr. Clyde say, you become a millionaire as soon as you get there because you have more money, so to say, more wealth than other people, local people. Simply because we had money coming in because I was still working online, for my mom's school, and also my uncle and my mom paid me a salary to do the work for our family, to do the groundwork for our family. So I was getting two incomes with combined income. It was about 1,200. So and so what we did, we laid out our projected costs of what it'll cost us. And this is in like our projected cost also included like our rent. So like our rent for 6 months was about 1,700. Now it's about 1,800. And then in March or May, it'll be about $1,900 for every 6 months. So like Mr. Clark said, instead of renting that bigger house, and I know our house is on the low end as far as what people are charging now. Instead of getting that bigger house, we could have honestly got a 1 or 2 bedroom. Even we could have got a 2 bedroom because we got 2 small daughters and it's just us, but we wanted to have room for our family. And of course, we wanted to have room for visitors when people come and visit us in Tanzania. So we were thinking about hosting other people at the time, but fam, you don't have to do that. You can go over there and get you a simple place. If you do it unfurnished, you will pay on the lower end, and we can talk about furniture and stuff another day. But so this template is pretty simple. If anybody want this template, I'm okay with sharing it. I can email it to you. I can email you a blank copy. And all you have, it's already set up. All you have to do is program what your projected cost would be. And of course, you project your income because in Tanzania, if you know you're going on a set income, you have no choice but to stay within your budget. So you can see like, and I think this was April 2024, we went way over our actual budget. And that was because we had additional spending for our family. So we included some of those things like business costs. We included like business costs on this one, I think. But either way, you got your transportation, your insurance, your food, and that's groceries. And we said we budgeted $100 a month for eating out, but I'm pretty sure that's more like we went over on that. Did we go over on that?
Probably did about
maybe once a month. Once a month we'll go a little bit over on that, but it add up real quick. Like you think you're getting a cheap meal, but before you know it, and sometimes we would not spend as much on groceries and we'll spend more on eating out. But either way, even that grocery budget is crazy because that's when we were shopping at Shoppers.
Yeah, if you're doing like just going to the local markets and stuff like that and not worrying about convenience per se, because you can go to the butcher for your meat, you can go to the bakery for your bread and stuff like that, and that type of thing, it cuts your cost way more than it would if you were to try to go to Shoppers or Jamba Market or any one of those, because it's just much cheaper. That's where what the locals do. They don't really go for convenience.
The locals don't go because this budget right here that we have is like astronomical. So us going back, to be honest, our budget will be more like $500 or $600 a month, maybe. So if you make more than that, you can see why some people can go to another country in Africa and like really thrive if they have a set income. They have a company that's paying them their normal salary that they would get from the US. They would be fine. Mm-hmm. But if you know that you're going and you're retiring and you only get $600 a month, you just got to make your budget work. And if you come with like a lump sum of money and you know that in a few months that money could dwindle down and it's not going to be replenished, like Mr. Clyde said, go ahead and purchase you some land, go ahead and start your company, find you a local partner in that time and start building on your land, start putting things in place so that when you can't rent no more, if you don't want to rent anymore, you can live off your land. So that was some advice that they gave us. So if you really want to thrive and
cut those bills down
and not just be surviving, because I say survive on that title because surviving is sometimes what we were doing. We were just like waiting for that next bit of money because we had no reservoir, we had no additional money coming in or in the savings. We had depleted all that at the beginning. So we depleted that within the first 4 months.
Yeah,
we
just because we
depleted
didn't
all of
know
our
how to-
savings because we had so many expenses. Like we did the shipping thing
and driver. Oh my
oh,
goodness.
we didn't have a car for the first
Yeah, that was really what depleted
that was
our-
the first 4
yeah,
5 months.
That was
transportation. Let's see what we put for transportation because that was crazy.
I think
this is not even the one where I projected. And I want to put all our business out, so I ain't going to the next tabs. But fam, when we really looked at receipts, we looked at our M-Pesa and we looked at
we were going out almost every single day.
Every time we took we pulled the reports from Bolt, from the Bolt app. That's the transportation app. It's like Uber. So we pulled our report from that. And when we put them numbers together, we like, oh my gosh, we spent a lot of money. And that didn't even count for the rides that we were getting and not tracking. So I don't know. My mom told me something funny about my auntie and my dad. They used to keep a little black book with them and they wrote down everything. And I think Miss Maria even told me that you got to write down everything. So now, where's that book? That book is up there, the blue book. But either way, I have a book that I carried around in Tanzania and I wrote down everything and I kept every receipt. So either way, you got to be strict about your budget. Don't go over there feeling like you're a millionaire. You want to go to the mall every day. You want to go eat. You want to go. What else people gonna do?
I mean,
we went to the movies.
We did it like maybe once a week.
But the movie's only $2 in Tanzania.
Yeah, I mean, then you got to think about you thinking, oh, the snacks are so cheap, so you like rack up on all the snacks so that you have snacks for the kids. It just becomes a lot.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I know our electricity was really cheap. Our phone bill was a set bill because we would just add, a certain amount. Now, the best thing that we did as far as like understanding finances, we got internet. So fam, if you could do anything before you decide to move, go ahead and look at the cost because there's plenty of videos out with diaspora telling how much it costs to live. So you need to combine all those things and multiply them by 2 or 3 because you are a foreigner. They're going to upcharge you on certain things. So you may not get the local price, or you just may not know how to negotiate at the beginning. So my advice would be just to set your African budget up differently than you would do your U.S. budget. Don't feel like you need to have this big budget. You need to just have a realistic budget.
And get comfortable with negotiating.
Yeah, get comfortable with negotiating. Some people are very uncomfortable, but that's what the locals do in Tanzania, and that's what
they expect you to. So they hike the prices up, expecting you to bring it down, not necessarily, wanting you to. I mean, they'll take the money if you go ahead and pay them, but you are supposed to go ahead and negotiate. They expect you to negotiate them down.
Yeah, they're not going to tell you. So either way, we're going to move to the next question. I'm going to take our budget off. If anybody want that budget, I can share it. So you can just either email me at origin.com.
You know what? One thing that's kind of helpful. One thing that's kind of helpful when it comes to transportation is if you try to find a place that's close to stuff that you can walk to. So if you find looking for like a rental, try to find a rental where you can actually walk to the grocery store or walk to the fruit stand or walk. I did that when I moved to Bessie Beach. I moved over there because it was in walking distance from Shoppers and the fruit stand. So I didn't really spend transportation costs at all. I kind of eliminated that because I was walking all the time. And then if I did get a ride, it was a boater just to take me around the corner at night. But other than that, I cut down a lot of transportation costs by living in places that's close to the place where I can walk to. So that's kind of another option for some people. That's what I did. And even now, I'm in Tegeta, and I'm in walking distance from Viva Supermarket. I'm in walking distance from fruit stands. So I don't have to go to shop. I don't have to go to these big stores all the time. I can get like fruit and vegetables. Even if I just eat that, I can walk there. If I want to go to
Yeah.
Viva, it's like a mini Shoppers. Yeah, I can walk there. I cut out transportation costs. So that's another thing you can kind of think of if you can get close to places where you can walk.
Just walk. Yeah,
Um,
that's important.
can I
Which I mean,
add to
Location
that?
is cheap.
I
Oh,
just want
good.
I wanted to say two
Yeah.
things. If you decide that you want to stay in Dar, like Wanda and like Maria and Claude, stay in the outskirts of Dar es Salaam. It will help you save money. Like she said, there's a lot of stores and things that'll be closer probably to where you live. Most neighborhoods have a little store, have a fruit stand. Stay outside of the main city of Dar. Go there, get situated for a few days or even a week, but then come out of that area. Come outside of the main city. Also, budget for the cultural what did we talk about earlier about dealing with coming into the culture. Budget for excursions to take your family outside. For me and my family, we needed breaks. We needed to take breaks outside of Tanzania because it was so different that we need to have something that gave us some normalcy. It was normal to have good customer service.
he's asking if there's any.
So we would go to Zanzibar, where we would have, just a little more of a relaxed environment. Things were different, and budget in for those excursions. Also, if you need to go out for what is it, the visa, we never had to do that, but these visa checks, every 3 months you got to do visa run. So I hope I'm saying that right, guys. Budget in for having to leave within 3 months until you get your documents in place. Budget for that. Leaving the country, maybe taking a plane or a bus, taking your family, going outside every 3 to 6 months. I hope I'm saying that all correctly. All right.
Hey, Arthur, I got one
All right.
about
Thank you, Uncle Bobby. Oh, good.
uh,
The
financing.
public transportation is
Your financing to
yeah,
move.
but
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Uncle.
Oh, your financing to move to the continent don't start on the continent. It starts over here in America. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, your financing and your budget don't start on the continent. It starts in America. Way before I decided to invest and the Most High led me to the continent, I was saving because I knew one day I would want to move somewhere else. I didn't know if it was Africa or anything else, but I started cutting back on a lot of things that the United States say you need. Basically, my nephew and niece can tell you I'm kind of cheap. So I started budgeting. And then when I went to Africa and Tanzania, I had no problem. Like I told my sister Betty, she was saying, Bobby, that ain't that much here. I said, I did not come over here to change the culture and to make anybody rich. So whatever they was getting from the local and with the driver, if I would ask the driver, no, you don't give them that much. I didn't give them that much. I gave them what they would give them. And that's why I say you have to be with your finances. You cannot go over there because when my talk with all the drivers that we had and some of the others is they think every American or every from other country are millionaires. They look on these Facebook posts and they look on TikTok and they think everybody's a football player or a millionaire. And we had to reinsert them a lot of times to tell them, no, we are not. We work every day. just like you guys do. And like I talked to one, and he was very attentive. And I told him, I said, your job over here, I said, at least your country will give you land if y'all want it in Tanzania. I said, ours don't give us anything. I said, we work for anything, and they don't give us anything, and especially land. I said, so you're blessed just to have a country that would do that for you. And I said, anywhere you go, you're gonna have to budget. I said, because when we got over there, Arthur didn't, like he said, we was going everywhere. We was renting this, going on the Jajis and this, and Arthur and Sister Betty, and we finally said, now you got to get transportation. Let's go buy some transportation. And yeah, in the first place, it helps you go where you want to go and not limited when you want to go. I know you can call them anytime, but it's just a lot more freedom like we have over here when you got your own transportation. So you need to budget for that. Maybe looking into buying a car or anything, a motorcycle. It depends on how many you got in your family. But see, I budgeted for all that. And I thank the Most High. Like I say that I'm not a person, in my younger days, I had to have the BMWs. I had to have, I also tell you, I had to have the big trucks. But now I have learned when the Most High humbled me, I need nothing. I just need something to take me to A to B. So budgeting start before you leave this country. And the finances, you're going to have to, my finances, Arthur took us to a bank where we opened up an account. You have to start moving some of your money now back over to Africa and to their accounts. That way you don't have to worry about, if something happened here, you may have enough funds over there to last you a while. Because as I've seen as finances, I got a lot of ideas for businesses, but are they going to be effective in that country? And that's what you got to see. What do these people need? It's always the old saying, you have to go to the weakest link. And you have to look at the weakest link in Tanzania and Dar es Salaam. Those people don't need everything that we think we need, because I envy the people that can live day to day from stuff they don't grown. And like one of the sisters said, food don't last long in the refrigerator. But you have to budget if you are going to go out, which Stephanie and Arthur tell you. I had Arthur go stop beside the road and have me a barbecue grill made because I love the barbecue. Nice. And so I'm not a person to go out, so I'm not going to spend a lot of money there. And when we purchased it, it was gone within a couple of days. I'm not going to let it spoil if you don't have a refrigerator. But as far as my finances and me building on our land over there, I already got my budget set. If the Most High will, that mine start from the floor on up into the interior until it's completely done. But once the building's done, like Mr. Cloud was saying, I want to be self-sufficient. I want solar. We got our well that's solar. I want my house to be completely solar. Like I told my nephew and my sister, theirs need to be completely solar. We want to be off the grid because, first of all, the grid over there in some of these countries ain't that good anyway. And we are doing no more than the United States doing with solar. On my house in here in the United States, 3/4 of my house is solar panel. And that is a huge saving to my power bill. So you have to start budgeting for all these things. Just don't look at the house going up, because if you are on a shamba like Mr. Clark, you don't have any power. You may not have power poles or well. So all these things you have to budget for. I tell everybody budget for the maximum. Then if you can get it at a cheap, then you're good. But you got to have everything planned out. It can't be a whim. I'm going over there, like doing my finances and with Arthur. And like I said, I only went over there 3 weeks. I got people already want to go with my next trip. I got my brothers, got a couple of brothers, couple of friends that said, Baba, we want to go over there and look. Because I tell them, put your feet on the ground before you invest. Go over there and look at the country. You may want to go to another country. But I said, have your finances ready, because you cannot live over there without having an income coming in. Yeah, I've seen that. I got a few ideas for businesses, but still, it's going to take money if the country even accepts it. So, as far as finances, you have to have them together. And you have to be able to live off the land. I told my grandkids, I said, listen here, if y'all come to Africa, because I built my house, I let them try to design the house that I'm building. As you come to Africa, there ain't no McDonald's. You're not going to McDonald's. So you better start learning to cook for yourself and eat fresh vegetables and eat beef that was just killed out in the field, or chicken just in the backyard, because it's not like America. And I think, but like I tell them, I've been telling them, that's the problem with America in the first place. Like the sister was saying, that's fresh food. They don't have chemicals in it. Like I said, I lost 15 pounds without even trying. Just eating fresh fruit, vegetables, and getting up in the morning doing the same thing I do in the United States and walking 4 miles. I lost 15 pounds. They said I looked like I was on a rock or something when I got there. But that's just the good food that you eat and how to land. It's just so peaceful to me. And when you can look out, when you're out there in the Shamba, not maybe so in the city, but in the Shamba, you can see the stars. And I love it. Like Mr. Claude was saying, I don't want to live in the city. I don't. I live close to a mediocre city now, and I don't even like it. So I'm a person that loves outdoors, and I can stay out there. Like I told him, if I didn't have my Shama wasn't up, I could get me a tent and just stay out there on the land. So like I say, the first thing, just get your finances right. Don't be there where you're going to have to stop, or you're going to have to, okay, I'm going back. Like Mr. Claude said, you can't leave your property over there by itself. You're going to have to hire somebody. That's all I have as far as the finances.
Right. Thank you, Aunt. All right, y'all. So we're going to get to the last two questions, fam, and we will end, and then we'll let anyone who want to kind of chime in or add any additional advice. So these next two sections about building a support network in a new country. We've had some discussions about this, and I think that we have already formed that, we already started the groundwork, almost the foundation of that, by just communicating the way we've been communicating with each other and just respecting each other's space, promoting each other, not, just keeping it healthy. I feel like we've done a good job of keeping it healthy. So we refer different people to all of us, and I just think that's a good way to create it. So I'm gonna pose this first question. It is a second part, but I think all of y'all, because y'all so experienced, y'all already hit on all the points every time. So, all right. So we'll start with Sister Wanda again. And this one is about building support in a network, or building a support network in a new country. So what are the best ways to find and connect with fellow expats in an African city to establish a supportive community? So on your take and your experience, Sister Wanda.
Can you hear me? Hear me okay?
Muted.
Okay, am I still muted? Okay.
Yes. Good.
Of course, we all know that most people go online, and they should go online and see all the people that are here in the country that you want to visit or relocate to or do business. Their lifestyle is similar to yours if you're a single person, or if you got kids, if you're married, or if you're elder, or if you're young. So it's good to try to connect with people who live how you are or live like you are. If because you don't want to, as a single person, try to not that it won't work, but try to connect to a married couple, something like that. And then, it might be like, oh, I'm married. You don't know how people, not that we would do that, but I noticed for some people, I've heard them say that they connected to certain people that had a family and they were single and they didn't feel as welcomed or something. So I say, look online, of course, and connect with the diaspora. If you decide to come anywhere in the continent, I think connect with somebody from the West somewhere. If you are a single person, maybe you should try to connect with someone that's single like you. They could, have time to spend with you and show you around or whatever. But I think that's the start. Besides you doing research and also praying about who you connect with, it's very important for you to seek the face of the Most High and have discernment with who you connect with. Don't do any business before you come. Like in the West, you should come with your feet on the ground to visit. Even meet the people that you connect with online, because sometimes you can meet people online, and when you connect with them, it might not work as much. So maybe you should make more than one connection, connect with several people, just in case things fall through with one person, you have other people. I think that's a start in building a community or connection with people who are coming over. With us who've been here, we kind of have, it's like we're our tribe is kind of drawn to us. We're being drawn to each other, the right people. But when you come over from the West and you don't know anybody, it's kind of good to maybe have a few people that you reached out to and maybe do a little lunch with them, meet with somebody for coffee or tea. That's what I usually do. Meet with people, just for, even not for food, so you won't be spending a lot of money. Maybe we can have a coffee, we can have a tea and meet just to chat to see if you and that person, you can be a connection with that person, y'all vibe good. So just little things like that, just reaching out, connecting, and just taking your time with getting to know them. Even when you arrive here, don't make all these plans like this is the person I'm gonna live with and I'm gonna do this. But then when you get here, y'all might not click. Things you might not be able to get together or whatever. So then you don't have any plans to be with anybody. So I would say, reach out to several people, take your time, maybe meet up with them, at a little cafe or something, and just go from there. Just gradually, work your way up in building your relationships with people from the West. So.
Okay, thank you. That was good. I don't know what just happened with my phone. Okay, so let's so Miss Maria and Mr. Clyde, or anyone on the panel who want to take that question. I kept it up on the screen because Dream Dreams was asking what does the process look like for opening a bank account in TZ, and what are the banks you would recommend? So I don't know if y'all want to recommend some banks.
Address that. Well, we went with CRDB and we're happy with them. There's also NMB Bank. I know, Arthur, you had APSA or APSA. That's
APSA.
APSA. So which other one? There's, maybe Evelyn knows some. Our sister Wanda. But CRDB, NMB, those are the two that I know.
The good thing about APSA is you don't have to have a permit, a residency permit to open an account with APSA. So that might be, if you want to come here and open a bank account right away, you don't have to have a residency permit to open one. You can be a foreigner and open a bank account at APSA. You just need to show your passport, and they may want to know like where you're renting or something. Copy your passport, and if you renting somewhere, they may want to know that. But and then you pay for to get it notarized, and they usually have someone there that can do it. And then you can open an account as a foreigner at APSA. If and then maybe, but that's a U.S. account, of course. But if you want a TZ account or a Tanzanian shillings account, you have to have a residency permit to do that one. Other than that, just a U.S. internet. APSA is international. You can just, they'll let you do it. They have U.S. accounts at APSA, basically. So you can do that without a residency permit at APSA, and it's simple.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, Back
I
to the
hope that
And I would
original
helps you,
recommend
Green
question.
Green.
go to oh, go ahead. I would recommend if you do it, you go to the apps at Palm Village, because if you go to the one in Masaki by Slipways, sometimes they give you a hard time. But the one in Palm Village, I don't know if it's because the Chinese own that, but they just seem like they don't give you as much of a hassle. They just be like, yeah, let's get it done. And they help you with whatever you need. So I would say at Palm Village, open one there. If you come to Tanzania and you want to open one, go to the one at Palm Village.
Okay. Thank y'all for that. All right. And then the question. So whoever want to go next, I know everybody ready. What are the best ways to find and connect with
Um,
fellow expats in African city?
for us, we try to identify like-minded people in whatever atmosphere we went in. For instance, I remember we were at a restaurant sitting down at the hotel, and a sister came by, and she recognized Claude from his channel, and she was here. She's from the UK, and she was here by herself. And right today, a dear family friend. So that can be a network. That's how you can meet people. Sister Evelyn, I think Sister Evelyn is a friend of a friend, or I have many friends who are friends of friends. So I think she found us through our channel, but she has become like family. Um, you want to associate yourself with like-minded people, because you don't want to. You can be a chameleon where you can navigate that without any issues, but if they don't have the same way of life like as you do, it's an hindrance. What do you say, Claude?
Well, I met a lot of people through my channel, Jamaican African Travels, and it's a great feeling and to know, because I think about 3 months ago, I met one, I think his soul sent that family to us because they were about to leave back the country because they said they are at a crossroad, they don't know where to turn. And they reach out to me, and trust me, every day the family called me telling me thanks. So that's the way we want
To build
to
network.
connect with each other
Mm-hmm.
and to help people, because many times people come on my farm and by me just share my fruits and vegetable or food with them. They give me even more money than what it value. And if I'm going in the town, I might call and say, what you need? And I just drop it off. Sometimes we hang out on the beachfront. We have our little get together and we talk, encourage each other, share information. And like I said many times, individually, we are a drop of water, but togetherness we can be an ocean. If we don't come together here, trust me, many of us going to fail. So the more
We need the support of each
the
other.
more we united, the stronger we can be. And trust me, if we work together, we can strive here to the heights. Because remember, even before we came here, we blaming the Englishman, the Arabs about they taking over Africa. Now we come here, we need to establish ourselves and show them that as Black people, we can climb up the ladder and can do excellent here.
And Arthur, we met you by fluke, anyways. It was just by fluke
Yep.
that we met Solo Soul, and they have become like the family that we didn't have here. They have become our tribe, where I know I can rely and count on them, and they know they can count on me. I will not let him fall or fail if it's in my power. And I think I speak for Claude on that one too. And that's the relationship we want to develop with each other here. If he wins, I win. If I win, he wins. If Evelyn win, I want to win. So I'm going to help her to get to where she needs to be. If Uncle Bobby needs me, I got to be there for him. And I think we got to stop thinking of self. When you're here, okay, you have your little family and you're doing, and you're hustling and bustling to do what you have to do to survive. But in the long interim, it's not about self. It's about what you can give and do to make somebody else's life and existence um, the best. That's how I look at that.
You know, I agree with the sister, Arthur. Um, I just hung up the
Shalom.
phone with. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying shalom.
Hey, shalom, shalom. I'm sorry, brother. I just got off the phone with another brother, and we were just talking about these things, and that's what we were saying. I mean, we can't go in this. I mean, you may start by yourself, but when it's all over said and done, you will have to. It is going to be a must that you work together off the top. And if we don't, man, I mean, what? We're going to find ourselves still at the bottom of the bucket. Like the brother said, the Arabs, yeah, they have things, it would appear to be on lock. It does. But the moment we start working together with like-minded individuals, because truthfully, we all don't think alike, truthfully, when it's all over said and done. And you will have to blend yourself with people that do think somewhat like you. You will have to. You will have to trade in amongst your brothers. And the more you do that, the stronger you become. And that's one of the hills that we got to go up and learn about and then move about with that. Outside of that, I mean, I will say that we would hem ourselves up if we do not have that mindset. And that on the other end, when the brother was talking about what you need to do in the United States, when I was there, there are some brothers and sisters. I mean, the brothers I know they're living off of retirement, which there's no problem with. But it's the strength of the dollar that can be concerning. That right there can be very concerning. And that's one of the reasons I was telling the brother, I said, brother, it seems that you need to set up a business in the event that this dollar do collapse. You have something that you can fall back on. Because if they saying that this is the way the dollar is going to go, we just may find ourselves getting hemmed up and trusting in the Babylonian dollar. We already know what's going to happen to Babylon. The Most High said he's going to destroy anything that has to do with it. So we have to, we've been warned by the Most High, and let's apply it what we have learned, and we move accordingly. And that's just a portion of my thoughts, brother.
Hallelujah. Thank you, brother Mike.
I got you, bro.
Sister Evelyn, I think you up. Yeah, Sister Evelyn, you up next. And I can pose the question again if you need me to.
Yes, thank you. Because if you don't mind.
All right. So, what are the best ways to find and connect with fellow expats in an African city to establish a supportive community?
Well, in my mind, or the way it happened for us was we were isolated first. We moved outside of Dar to Morogoro, which is about 3 hours away from Dar. And we were very, very remote. I shouldn't say very remote, but we were isolated. We didn't have connections with diasporans. And in all actuality, I believe at that time it was the Wild Wild West back in 2020, and I'm grateful for not having to be mixed up in all of that. We needed that time to kind of what we talked about earlier, getting all that emotional intelligence, whatever traumas, whatever, you know, outside of our system, and then be able to come and reconnect with. I think I met Wanda in 2022. Did I meet you in 2022? It was about 2022, right? I met her through another sister who was living in Morogoro, who moved to Morogoro. She was living there, and I don't even remember. I think we met at the local grocery store, and Wanda, and that's. But it took time. I didn't. We didn't, and I'm very. So it was excruciating for me to be so isolated because I love entertaining. I love having people around, and it was very, very daunting for me. But I knew that my family and we needed that time. So I say, for me anyway, take your time, go through your process that you need to go through, and then those people who need to be drawn to you will come. Your tribe will come. Um, just believe and hold on to that. They will appear. But it's better if you do it, I say granola, naturally, versus just jumping into all these. I think back in that time, there was a lot of diaspora WhatsApp groups. I think there was like 5 or 6 of them. I wasn't in any of them. So I would get news from through Wanda, and she would give it to my friend, and my friend would get. So if anything was going, that's how I connected. Um, but anyway, that I,
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go to the and appreciate everybody staying with us.
Hold
So
on,
this
Alpha.
last question is about peace and
Oh, I
integrity.
got
Oh,
Alpha.
sorry.
Yeah, you skipping me that
Oh,
now.
my bad. Listen, I don't be forgetting about you on purpose. I promise. I promise.
Well, mine
I
is
just
gonna
know
be
y'all don't want
short.
to sit on here too much.
Yeah, mine is gonna be short. Hey, the Most High. First of all, Miss Maria, when you met Alpha them, it wasn't no luck or nothing. It was the Most High. We got to understand that He put people in our path for a reason. So once we understand that, we can establish what we want in our community. Because this is what I'm looking for in our community where we're building at. I want people who's gonna follow the Most High, follow His commandments, statutes, and laws. If I want to stay over here in Babylon and deal with, lawlessness, then I will stay over here in Babylon. I'm not trying to bring Babylon to the continent. And so, like I say, when you're looking for people in the community, like they were saying, take your time. Don't just accept everybody just because they're from the United States or from another country and they speak English. And that's the main reason most people say, if you speak English, no. We got some of the lionest people over here right now where I'm in this country that speak English. So I don't want none of that. So when I'm looking for somewhere and some group to hang around, I want it to be like-minded people. And that's what I'm going to look for when I arrive over there. Because the Most High gave me a mission. He told me, Bobby, you and your family go make a way for others. And I know that those people that's going to come, they're going to be a like-minded of our tribe. And not just over there trying to get what they can get and survive. They're going to be over there doing the work of the Most High. And so all I gotta say is y'all all right. Just don't rush to get with a group. I'm like the one that says I was never part of a group, even in college and anything. I have never been a part of a group. Unless it was the military or the police department, I was never a part of a group. The Most High, even in His other wisdom, made me stand out to say, "Hey, you are an individual." And like my mom used to tell me before she passed, Let me tell you something about groups. None of them are going to be there when the day the Most High call you home. So you got to be yourself, and you got to follow his guidance. So like everybody's saying, make sure we are in the right community and that we are putting across who we are before people try to come and get in our community. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Hallelujah. Thank you. All right. So the next category is peace and integrity in our expat community. So it's two questions. It's a two-part one. So if y'all can answer the first part, and then I'll remind you of the second part, because I know sometimes we forget. All right. So how can expat communities in Africa foster peace and mutual respect among individuals from diverse backgrounds? And then the second part is simply asking, what are some examples of successful expat-led initiatives that have contributed to peace and integrity? Well, we'll just say in Tanzania, or if you know of things in other African countries, because I know we're not reinventing the wheel. I know other countries, like one sister reached out to me about a community in Uganda? I think it was Uganda, but I'm not positive if it was Uganda. But either way, Sister Wonder, you want to take this one first?
What was the first part again? The peace and safety?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. So the first part was how can expat communities in Africa foster peace and mutual respect among individuals from diverse backgrounds? The top part was just the title.
Okay. Now, what you say about peace and safety?
Peace and integrity was just the title, the category.
Okay. So, how can we foster peace and integrity as a here in Tanzania?
How do you think?
Okay.
Yeah, as an expat.
As an expat. Well, we have to hold one another accountable. We really have to hold one another accountable, because that's not going to be possible. Peace and, integrity and all that. It's not going to be possible if we can't hold one another accountable. We say we're going to do something, then we must do what we say we're going to do. We make promises. We must fulfill the promises that we make to people, especially to our people that are coming over here. And not only that, just as a community, we tell somebody we're going to do anything, we have to hold ourselves accountable, and other people have to hold us accountable. If I didn't do it, then somebody have to say, you said you would do A, B, C, and D, but you didn't do it. And I should be mature enough to be like, you know what? I didn't do it. I did say I was going to do this. I'm sorry I didn't do it. So I think holding one another accountable and us having the right heart and the right mind and spirit to be able to accept, a correction, I would say, or, because it's going to be people that don't agree with everything you say. It's going to be, and you're going to have somebody to be able to hold you accountable for things that you say you're going to do when you didn't. And that's a big problem with a lot of the diaspora, especially here in Tanzania. People say, certain people say they're going to do certain things and they didn't do it. But who is there to hold these people accountable? They're not accountable to anybody. So we have to be understanding that when we are a community, when we we walk with the Most High, we believe in the word, that we are people that do what we say we're going to do. We have integrity, and then we should be open to other people holding us accountable for things that we didn't do when we said we were supposed to do them. I don't have a problem with that. And so if I say I'm going to do something and I don't do it, somebody needs to say, well, you said you're going to do it and I depended on you to do it. So I won't be offended, because all I can say is, oh, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I'll do better next time or something. So I say holding each other accountable and us being okay and open to, I say correction, or somebody saying certain things to you that you may not agree with. We should be open to that, so that's just my opinion.
All right, that was good. Thank you, Sister Wanda. All right, so Sister Wanda, the second part is, what are some examples of successful expat-led initiatives that have contributed to peace and integrity that you know of, maybe in another African country or even in Tanzania? Anything that you know that fostered, that you noticed that was expat-led and it was really good for the community? And I mean, if you don't know, it's okay. Then
I
that
want
means we
to,
need to work on it.
yeah, not here in Tanzania, but I've been observing Ghana, and I think that the expat community are doing pretty well in Ghana in terms of them trying to work together. You have some rogues going here and there, some not people of without integrity, but there are a lot of expats in Ghana that are trying to work together as a community and do something to make a difference. I think them getting citizenship had a lot to do with the integrity and morality of a lot of the people. They're like, okay, they are kind of acknowledging us, so we want to be an example and work together and show them that we can do things together. It's helpful when the country that you want to repatriate to or live in acknowledges you. It's a bit of an encouraging thing, but I would say in Ghana, I think they're on their way. They have work to do, but they're closer to any other place that I've seen so far.
Okay. Yeah, I think we all heard about Ghana, and that's been the talk for the last couple of weeks. So, all right. So we can go to Sister Evelyn. And Sister Evelyn, how can expat communities in Africa foster peace and mutual respect among individuals from diverse backgrounds?
That's such a big question. But what I can say, let me answer question number the part 2 today. I have 2
Okay.
that have done the work. One of them is the 6th region. They do the beach cleanup, and they do the global family day where it's not just diasporan, it's also Tanzanians that are, everyone is invited to make a connection. I feel like that's really good. Also, there's a group it's called Support Mama Sonia and Zimola Women's Cooperative, if I'm saying that correctly. They are the group that's in Zanzibar, and now they're creating a daycare center for the community. They've done meetups. Uh, they're just very proactive. I don't know how much more we would have to do to become peaceful and to demonstrate and to show that we are a peaceful type of people to this country of Tanzania. I have no idea. I don't know how long that would take. I don't know. But what I will say is that what is the word? Reach one, teach one is pretty much all I can definitely say. Each one of us with our interaction with individuals will make a change slowly but surely. So I land my plane on that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Sister Evelyn. And Mr. Clyde and Miss Maria, you can start with either part 1 or part 2, because I know that's a broad question.
Yeah.
All right, let me try and part 1.
Talk.
Yeah, I don't like people demand my respect. So I try to earn people respect. So if you need my respect, you earn it. And as Martin Luther King said, there can be no peace without justice. So if you're doing injustice, to your fellow diasporan. You need to stop it. Look out for each other, care for each other. Because like I said before, united we stand, divided we going to fall. So the more we can get together and help each other. If you see someone going down the wrong road, just stop him and say, hey, that's not the way to go. This is the way without you have to abuse them. Just do it in a mannerly way. And like some people just try to be respectful to each other, even when someone might do you something and say something. But one of the most important thing, if you do someone injustice, you need to come and apologize before I can forgive you, because I don't see anywhere in the Bible where you can get forgiveness if you don't ask for it. You have to go on your knees and ask the Most High forgiveness. Acknowledge that you do something wrong. So if we do each other wrong, we need to acknowledge it and we move on from there, because peace, we said, we come here to live as one. This this opportunity that we get here is the greatest, is the first time Black people from the West get the chance to unite. And we should not tear this apart. We need to unite and be strong over here. So this is what I have to say on this topic.
Okay, thank you. And Uncle Bobby, I can read the
Well,
question again.
you don't need to, because
Okay.
like my sister said, we got to be held accountable, and we need to, as people coming over to a new land, a new country that we are not used to, that we've been in our captivity. We just need to be accountable to each other first. So we can't ask anyone else to discipline us when we don't discipline ourselves. And my sister can tell you, me and her, Sister Betty, we disagree all the time. It don't come, she's correct me, and I look at it and I pray on it, and I just pray and I thank the Most High for her bringing it to me than a stranger. So if we can just start to respect each other, it's just the basic, what the Bible says. Love thy neighbor as you love thyself. If you love thyself, you will love thy neighbor. And just keep it simple. There's nothing complex about that. And he had put us in a position that even my grandfather, my great grandfather did not have an opportunity to go back to Africa or to even see where they came from or knew where they came from. So if we're over there, let's not try to conform where we're at into Babylon. Let's just all get along and just pray on discernment. That's all I have, even with part 2.
All right. All right, thank you. Okay, so I guess I can add my little 2 cents, but I feel like y'all always touch on everything. So I just believe that as a community, to foster peace and mutual respect, we have to honor and respect those who came before us. As far as and I know some people don't agree with this, but age does give you respect. Some people feel like they don't have to necessarily respect elders because they may not be in a certain position, or they may not feel like they have knowledge on certain things. But I feel like if we're in a community and we say that we're in the truth and we understand and we have empathy for people, because in my experience, I've dealt with a lot of retirees. Majority of the people that reach out to me, they plan to retire, they're retiring. So to me, you worked your entire life, you automatically earn my respect because you worked hard and you decided the Most High led you to another country. So if we don't, and you know what? I can go ahead and speak on a group that not personally, I don't know this group from experience. I know them from just listening to their Zooms when they were selling the land in South Africa. I think it's I can't remember the name, but I know it's Lavelle is the president. But I remember when they did their presentation to tell everyone about the land in South Africa, they had a board of elders that spoke before they did their presentation, before the younger folk got out there, did their presentation. They had a board, which is pretty much the elder board, and the elders talked about their expectations for the community and talked about some things that they would like to see happen within the community. And it was so good because it just encouraged me. I'm like, this is exactly the kind of people I want to be around. I want them to, honor the elders and understand that their input is very important. So after the elders spoke, then you had another board of, just business professionals. They had some lawyers, they had, some people that were in construction, they had a realtor, and then they had the president. And when they all spoke, they all just presented their information, but at the same time, they always referred back to what the elders said and kind of that foundational stuff that we want to implement. So I feel like biblically, if we don't do it the right way, then we can't say we're going to foster peace and mutual respect when we don't first respect the elders within our community. So if we don't take the elders are like taking that's from the beginning. If we ain't taking care of our children and if we ain't taking care of our elders properly, then what are we doing? So you can't leave them behind. You got to respect them. So I guess that's all I really got to, because I feel like we haven't really established something official for Tanzania, and it's a lot of us in Tanzania. And even like Sister Evelyn mentioned, 6th region, some of us can even be involved with 6th region, but we know that everyone has their different beliefs. And not saying from a business aspect or a networking aspect, we can't network with different groups. And then as a community, because we know the way we believe, and we know as a community how we want to govern things and deal with things. And I think we always say this: if we want respect from the local people and we want respect from Tanzanian government, we have to establish something, legitimate that they can respect, and they see us operating with integrity. They see us working, and they can see what we're doing. And then we have lawyers that can advocate for what we're doing and the work that we're trying to do. So maybe we'll see something like that in the near future, fam. So I like to give everybody opportunity to just give any closing advice or encouragement or a testimony. I don't know who want to go first, but you can do your closing remarks, because I know we've been going for 2 hours and 27 minutes. So I know people these people talk too much.
Well, I'll start.
I can start if you want me to.
Oh, go ahead.
You want to let her go?
Yes, she can go.
All right, Sister Wanda. Oh, Sister Wanda, you muted. Oh, hold on.
I wanted to encourage our people. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yep. It sounds good.
Okay. I wanted to encourage everyone listening and watching. Don't feel discouraged, because it can seem a little bit overwhelming, because it's just so much going on and so many changes compared to leaving America and coming back. But it's the best decision that I have ever made, going on 4.5, well, almost 5 years now. In July, have been here for 5 years, and I would not change a thing, even through the ups and downs. It is workable. It's manageable if you connect with the right people and you pray to the Most High. He can lead and guide you. He'll be there to help you. We can't think that we can do all this on our own, but in due time, I feel like the Most High is going to open doors for us in this country, and they'll be a little bit more receptive in accepting us in due time. Maybe things will change with this passport situation. Maybe they'll offer citizenship. I don't know, but in the meantime, we're going to occupy until he comes, and we're going to do what we need to do until the Most High says otherwise. So be encouraged.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Wanda. All right, Uncle Bobby.
Yes, my final words is take everything that this panel has said, study for yourself. If you need anything, call, or however you can get in connection with everyone and get from their example so that you can carry on if you are coming to the continent or if you're already there and just beginning. Because let me tell you, without Mr. Claude and Miss Maria, we wouldn't have had an idea of how to get the farm started or to get the shambles started or anything else. Like Arthur was saying, the elders are, it's in biblical that that's who have the most experience. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to. We got two sisters that's been there, that's already there. Why would you suffer yourself to go through things that they can tell you to avoid? So let's not just get over there and say, well, I don't want to ask anyone for help. No, ask them for help. Then pray on it. And then study it for yourself. But as a community, we have to come together and we have to trust each other. And I can say from the conversation that I had with this panel or listening to them, these are people that I pray on and that I know I could trust if I needed any kind of advice. That's not only going over there and living in the land, but spiritual also. So I thank the panel, and I sure appreciate y'all having me on it.
All right. Thank you, Unc. All right,
Thank
whoever
you,
want to go
Uncle
next.
Bobby.
Mr. Cloud, Miss Maria, I want to go.
Claude.
Closing remarks.
And for all the listeners and viewers. You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, I said, I want to say special thanks to the panel and all the viewers and listeners. So my advice to people, experience teacher knowledge. So when you come here, friend from, he came back and said, Brother Claude, I owe you. So it is important from we learn from people who are already here, especially when you see people doing something. And my advice to people coming here, make the transition be your own. Don't take any other one. Take your time. And when we come here, we just want to take a piece of the country and move with it. We don't want to come here to be a part of the problem. We want to be a part of the solution because we want any of the country, the continent and all to be the greatest on planet Earth. And we have to come here to help build it, make this. Thank you.
And I'll just end by saying that I thank you guys for having me. Thank you, author Stephanie, for having me here tonight. And in this season of my life, you guys are my tribe. And I am going to ride with you till the wheels fall off. And I don't care what the naysayers say. We're in this together. We're in this to uplift and build each other. We have to have each other's back. And that's how we're going to thrive. And that's how we want to be in the wilderness. So that's my take on it.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
Hallelujah. And Sister Evelyn, close us out.
All right. So I'll just close out by saying, family, you have three viable locations to get information. You have Sister Warner with Diaspora Connect. You have Jamaican Travels, Claude and Maria, you have Solo Souls channel author. You've got these three individuals. There is no excuse that you cannot reach out to people who have your best interest at heart, that will be willing to help you, guide you, to make the best choices. I say 2019, 2020, it was the wild, wild west. There weren't those people available to help. And so I am so grateful now that there is a tribe of people that anyone can who needs to connect can get advice from the very smallest thing like the grocery list at the market to as much as creating a business, building, etc. So that's my words of advice. Thank you, and Ira, have a good night. Oh, it's
All
day
right.
for you guys.
Hallelujah. All right. If everyone is done with closing remarks, and we can just close it out, and I'm gonna close it out on again. And I highlighted these strengths in Mr. Cloud and Miss Maria, and I hope y'all are okay with me using y'all as an example. But we already know these are the fruits of the spirit, and these are strengths. These are the things that strengthen our community, and these are the things that I personally want to live by. I definitely need to work on that self-control, and sometimes I need to work on that gentleness. But I know the patience I have and the kindness. So the rest of it, we all got things to work on. So I think just looking at what they are doing for the community, we should want to live and abide by these same principles. The Most High already gave us the playbook. It's right there in the word. So it's not much more we can say or do because it gives us what we need in the word. So, but with that being said, thank you, fam, who all joined. We appreciate y'all support, and we will be doing another one really soon. And God bless, fam. Thank y'all. Panel, thank y'all so much for joining. I always appreciate y'all doing these, even though I put all of y'all on the spot. And I know I put that pressure on y'all, but I appreciate y'all.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate
Thank
y'all
you.
standing strong with me. All right. And thank you again for everybody who tuned in today or this evening. All right. God bless, fam. I'm going to end it here, y'all.